Hey, how's it going? Wait, I'll do this one more time here. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Tool Show with me, Master Dan, the Journeyman shooter. And today we're here doing one of our weekly coffee time segments, and this is another one that I'm just trying to get out of the way here and get some nice shots of the city and test out the new camera. So this is what it is. I got my coffee here. My mom actually bought me this cup here, and it's from my Keurig maker at home there, so I'm not really affiliated with anybody on coffee time. But other than that, it's a great segment that's really going to showcase the city, hopefully, and how beautiful it is sometimes. So today's coffee time segment, we're doing a nice early one here, and we're just going to go for a quick walk and talk about, what are we going to talk about today? About how hot that coffee is. No, I'm just kidding. Today's coffee time segment, what we're going to be talking about is what kind of got me interested in getting into this and trying to do the whole TV side of it, because I'd mastered a trade basically. I'm a 3-code certified master. I was only 26 when I got it, but I started when I was really young in high school in the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. And today I'm going to try to make this quick 5-minute segment here because it shouldn't be that long, but what really got me started in this is I know there's kind of a lot of different theories out there of how to be successful in life and all that kind of stuff. And one thing you got to do is you got to earn something first, and that's why I got the trade under my belt. And it was very hard. It wasn't something that was super easy. It was just something that my dad was an electrician, and he kind of showed me one of his checks when I was a young kid, and it kind of got me interested, because if I don't have any kids and I don't have anybody holding me back, I guess, then I can kind of do whatever I want and make the same money, and it'd be great. So that's kind of the goal of why I got into the trades. But then to start my own show, I always loved tool time, home improvement. I didn't really like the whole family side of home improvement. I loved the tool time episode where he'd make you laugh, but he'd also teach you something slightly about the tools and what happens if you go too overboard with the tools and all that. But those were always my favorite. And then I also loved Wayne's World, where Wayne was just a young guy that made his own TV show in his parents' basement, and it was always hilarious. It was something that people wanted to watch, something that people wanted to see, and that was always one thing that I always wanted to do myself personally. But because I remember one time, like, this is where it really got me interested in the program, because I was lucky enough that in Calgary there's lots of amazing programs like Shaw's TV Community Access Channel and all the other different stuff, and there's great people out here that can actually teach you so much about the trades, and not just the trades, but how to get into other trades like television, like whatever you want to do. There's always somebody there that can teach you a little bit more about that. But luckily, I was watching Wayne's World one night, and I got the idea. I was watching them. They had all those huge, giant switchboards and everything, and it was kind of crazy. And I said, man, like, if that's what you could do back then, could you imagine what a computer and a small camera could do now? And here we are. So luckily, after then that night, I kind of started I started searching online. I Google searched like community access programming, see if there is anything in our city that I could get into, and luckily there definitely was, and it was with Shaw's Community Access TV. And so I sent him an email the next day with my idea and my proposal, and then after that, they sent me an email back saying it could take months before I get back, because they just did the proposals and the reviews and the signing up the shows that they wanted. And so I said okay, and I figured I'd just be positive and keep waiting, because months away isn't that long, I guess. And so sure enough, next day I got an email back from my buddy Jim. Now we're really good friends. Jimbo, he's a great guy. He's an awesome dude. He taught me a whole bunch about the television. He got me volunteering at Shaw. He got me into kind of learning what it was. I actually volunteered on it was a psychic TV show was my first volunteer job, and it was great. It was a call-in show where people would call the psychic and ask her questions, and she'd answer their questions, and that was kind of what I always wanted. I always wanted like a live TV show where people could call in or something like that, and just like Wayne's World, and that kind of gets me back to where I was at with Wayne's World, so I figured they could do it, so why can't I? So watched Wayne's World, had a great night, positive attitude the next day, emailed him back, and sure enough, it's taken a long time, because this isn't my trade. I'm just learning something brand new, and every night I'm doing tutorials online of how to edit these videos, how to do all this stuff, but the coffee time's always going to be unedited, so at least you can understand that whenever I put up the first video, that means it's going to be unedited and it's not something that people have hopefully seen before. But other than that, what else? I think that's about it almost, really. You just got to kind of go for it. Luckily, a few years later, it took a long time, but finally I got my sponsorship, and I'm so lucky to have Driving Force on our side here, and they helped me with a new camera and get what I'm actually hoping to be. And he's my mentor at Driving Force, Nelson. Oh shit, Norman. Sorry, I messed that one up. But my mentor Norman at Driving Force, he's a great guy. I was thinking of Jimbo still from the from Simpsons, so Nelson and Jimbo, but. Then Jim's my mentor with Shaw, and Norman's my mentor with Driving Force, and he's kind of teaching me the whole business side of things, because that was one thing I never knew, is I didn't know that you could turn this into a business and you could actually start doing this for real. And my goal is always just to have my own tool line eventually, and well, I'll be able to teach people stuff first, then have a tool line, then a clothing line, then all the other stuff, something that tradespeople can actually wear that's not $1,000 a pair of pants, because some of these things you only wear them for a couple months and then yeah, that's it, you're done. So why waste your time? Why not buy something that's quality and from somebody that actually knows what they're doing? So someday that'll be me, and I've even got my own metal name for my tool line, and I think it's going to be awesome, but I don't want to give it away before everybody else, because you know what it's like out there. People steal your ideas like crazy. But other than that, that's kind of it for today. I just wanted to make sure you guys kind of knew where I was coming from, and that gives you an idea of how to do it yourself. You can just got to go out there, find mentors, and that's the key to life, is you can't do it all on your own. You got to know somebody, or you've got to have somebody teaching you the lessons that you need to learn, and it's tough, so you just got to kind of find the right people, and that's what's going to make you the best that you can be. For Tool Show, I'm Master Dan, the Journeyman Shooter. Now get out there and learn from somebody.